goodness. There we go. Get that fan off. Hello, happy Monday, and more importantly, happy April. I cannot believe that the year is flying by so quickly. However, I kind of wish that it would fly by a little bit more quickly so that I could just get to graduation and be done with school. However, speaking of school, since it is the first Monday of April, I'm going to be talking about a topic related to school, since that is kind of the schedule that I have set forth for myself, which again is very tentative, so we're just gonna kind of see how it goes. And again, I know I've said this before, but if you feel like the format for my channel is kind of boring, or you feel like something could be mixed up or make it more exciting, please let me know in the comments. Give me feedback so that I can kind of give you guys what you'd like to see, instead of spending every Monday filming something that nobody really likes to watch anyway. So let me know what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like to see less of. Anyway, so it's the first Monday. I'm going to be talking about school, so as usual, I went over to my Twitter and I said, what do you guys want to know about school and or college and or testing? And what's going to be a little bit different about today's video is, instead of addressing individual questions, I'm just going to be kind of talking to a trend that I sort of saw as people were asking questions. The general consensus was, how the heck do I prepare for and apply for college? And this is definitely a process that was very overwhelming for me leading up to it, and in the moment it was just, there was a lot going on. It was very stressful, and so for those of you who are looking at applying to college and who are currently kind of vamping up to your senior year and to kind of leading up to filling out your applications and all that stuff, I feel you, and I was just there, and I'm so glad it's over, and just know it's gonna be a nightmare, but we will walk through it together. So I guess the first thing to kind of think about when you're preparing for college is, don't slack off your first couple of years of high school, because I know the tendency is going to be like, oh, it's my freshman year, my grades don't really matter, my sophomore year grades don't really matter. Your grades matter the second you step on campus as a freshman, so just be wary if you're kind of in your underclassmen years, or even if you're like an 8th grader watching this. When you go into your freshman year, your grades matter, and they go on your college transcripts, and I have seen so many people who just didn't even really think about college when they were in their freshman and even their sophomore years, and could have gotten better grades and thus gotten higher scholarships or into better colleges, but they didn't really think about it when they were in their underclassmen years. So for any of you who are watching who are in still kind of your underclassmen years, please try and please get the best grades possible, because you're going to regret it later on in high school when you're applying to college, when you see that your transcript wasn't exactly what you'd like it to have been. Another thing to kind of think about as you're going through high school and preparing for college, for those of you who are, get as much community service in as you can. Not only because it looks good on a transcript and on any scholarship and or college applications that you're filling out, but because community service will really help you to discover what it is you're passionate about, what it is you're not passionate about. And within the realm of community service, there are so many different things that you can partake in. Donating your time to food banks, hanging out at school carnivals, doing different like Relay for Life stuff, just really finding out what you like as far as interacting with people and different services that you can provide and stuff like that. I think it really opens your eyes as to what you enjoy doing and what you really don't enjoy doing. So yeah, I definitely think that community service is a good idea, not just for looking great on your transcript, which, by the way, community service is what sets people apart, so it's good for all different sorts of reasons. So get your community service hours in. The next thing to think about as you're kind of building up to your whole college experience, prepare for your standardized testing, so that's like your SATs and your ACTs. Get the little like prep books that they offer. I think College Board has one for the SAT, and there's like a really good guide to the ACT. Take a look through those handbooks, because you'll be amazed at how identical the book is to the actual test. What I did for my SAT and a little bit for my ACT was I just went through and I took practice tests, and they repeat so many words and equations and vocab uses and stuff like that. It's just really useful. So actually prep for your standardized testing, because I promise it'll boost your score. And the last thing to finally look at is your college application itself. And there are so many factors that go into deciding what colleges to apply to and how you fill out your application, and so I'm gonna kind of make this as general but helpful as possible. When you're looking at college, remember that applications are expensive, so unless you can afford to apply to every single college that comes to your mind, look for free applications. There are plenty of colleges that offer free applications. That actually is how I ended up discovering the college that I'm going to in the fall, which is Hofstra University. But yeah, look for the free applications that are out there, because even if they're not like the name brand Ivy League schools, there are some very great institutions that offer free applications. Another thing that I really urge you to consider is the fact that even though you may have a dream school and you might have like an Ivy League school that you're really shooting for, college is expensive, so have a plan B. Apply to your in-state schools and apply to other schools where you know you're gonna get good merit scholarships, because sometimes, like if you get really good coverage for your undergraduate degree, you'll have a little bit of money going into your graduate degree, for those of you who are considering going to grad school. So really look at the places that are going to offer you money, make sure that you're considering the quality of the institution that you're applying to and kind of the social environment, but definitely look into places that will offer you good merit scholarships. And yes, if you make it into that Ivy League school or that dream school that you've been thinking about since you were 5 years old, that's really awesome, but at the end of the day, it's important to consider the fact that you're going to have to spend a lot of money to get your college education. So I know this doesn't apply to everyone. I know some people just don't plan on going to college, but I was thinking this might be helpful because I remember applying to college was a very new and overwhelming thing. There were a lot of factors that went into it that I didn't even think about earlier on in high school, which I wish I had better prepared for, at least emotionally, because it was a very overwhelming first semester of my senior year. So get as many of those community service hours and job opportunities and extracurricular experiences in as possible earlier on, because when you get to your senior year, you're not going to be wanting to jam-pack everything in so that you can load your resume, because colleges also take notice of that too. If you're consistently involved in things entirely across 4 years, it's going to look a lot better than people who are trying to jam-pack things into their second semester of their junior year and their first semester of their senior year. So yeah, keep your eyes open, go into the whole college application experience with a completely blank slate, and I promise you'll be surprised by all of the opportunities that await you. Thanks for watching this video. I may start doing videos more of this format where instead of doing like a spaced out like Q&A type thing, maybe I'll start doing like a central theme each week so that I can talk more centrally to what you guys want to hear and kind of give advice on a more universal basis rather than jumping from random question to random question. So anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Thanks for watching this video, and please tune in next week for what I'm sure is just going to turn into some sort of complaint or concern about my work as a sandwich maker. So yeah, have a great one. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Thank you for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. And have a great rest of your day and week. Alright, bye! I have a pile of laundry the size of the Himalayas, and I really just am not into the thought of folding it and putting it away. So I probably won't.